So I just finished recording this video for Vlogbrothers about the weirdest, stupidest time zones that exist. And as I was doing research on this, I just sort of scrolled around the big old time zone map. And I was just scrolling around looking at weird situations. And I kind of gave Spain a hard time, but it's kind of cool that so much of the European Union is all in the same time zone. And of course, England would be a holdout from that. So maybe, but that's not the weird thing I found. I found something very strange and I want to do some research on it. And I just figured I'd do it with you while I'm recording. There's some weirdnesses, like the fact that Chile split itself in half for seemingly no reason. I don't know why they would do that. I didn't talk about the fact that the weird Arizona time zone actually isn't in the shape of Arizona. It's got this weird situation going on here. That's because of the Navajo and Hopi Indian reservations. I think that this is correct. The Navajo has daylight savings time, but the Hopi Indian reservation doesn't. That's just welcome to the extraordinary complexities of the United States of America. What we've got here is also really interesting. So the time zone border situation does not follow the border of the US and Mexico, and US time zones infiltrate a substantial part of Mexico. This is not the weird thing, by the way. But now I want to do research on this. In 2022, Mexico introduced major reforms to its time zone system. A key change was the elimination of daylight savings time. Good job, Mexico. Maybe we'll get there someday. The northern border continues to observe a unique seasonal time tailored to the region's commercial needs. Daylight saving time or seasonal standard time continues to be applied in some northern border zones, aligning with the United States daylight savings time to facilitate cross-border trade. Mexico has intentionally made it so that areas that do a lot of trade with the US just operate on the same time zone as the border places that they would be trading with. This isn't the weird thing that I wanted to talk about. That's cool. That's cool and interesting. And interestingly, with the border with Arizona, they don't have to do that because Arizona doesn't have daylight savings time down by the border. Good job. Everybody's working through it. Australia. This is the actual weird thing. Here we are in Australia. Do you see it yet? Do you see the weird thing yet? Is it the fact that they have daylight savings time in some parts and not others? No. Is it the fact that they start out in UTC plus 10 and then they've got 9:30 and then they go to 8? Not really. That's weird. I'm sure that they just wanted to be closer to Sydney time. So they changed it a little bit to match with what the sun was doing, but also kept it a little bit closer to Sydney time so it wasn't that different. But what am I seeing? Do you see it? Do you see it yet? Right there. There it is. Our little friend, tiny slice of Australia. That's UTC plus 8 hours and 45 minutes. What's going on? What is going on? So I haven't researched this at all yet. But one thing I do know, having done this research on this, is that time zones are named after themselves. So you can just search UTC plus 10. So here's the Wikipedia page for the UTC plus 10 time zone. Time zone has a Wikipedia page, which means that I think, probably, hopefully, UTC plus 845. And indeed, there it is. It's our friend UTC plus 8 hours and 45 minutes. Indeed, as I expected, is one place on Earth. And it is in Western Australia. It's got Kaiguna and Cocklebiddy and Eucla and Majura and Moondrabilla. Cocklebiddy? Is that a thing that we decided was a name place? It's a small roadhouse community. Somebody tell me how Cocklebiddy got its name. No one knows what Cocklebiddy means. Of course they don't. First applied to an Aboriginal mission which existed in the area, it can reasonably be assumed to be a word from the Mirning Aboriginal language. Okay. I bet if it is, that it's a word that was changed substantially by English speakers to sound like something that they would feel more comfortable saying, because Cocklebiddy feels like the kind of name that an English person came up with. I love it, though. I'm a huge fan. Don't get me wrong. That's a huge win, I think, for everyone. But that's not what we're here to find out. UTC plus 8 hours and 45 minutes. Is this Australian Central Western Time? It has a name? They call it Central Western Time? What? Why? Can you just make a time zone? Could Missoula, Montana be sorry you guys, we're Montana time plus 1 minute. And if we can, should we? I think yeah. I think we should. I think the clocks in Missoula should be 1 minute slower just to show that we don't have to be everywhere on time. It's okay for a little leniency here and there. We could be a little chill about this. It's going to be a new initiative by the mayor of Missoula to just be a little chill. Let's be a little chill. Wait. If you can make your own time zone, which apparently I haven't gotten any deeper into this, so maybe I'm wrong. But if you can you define it in some other way mathematically? So we've got UTC plus 8 hours and 45 minutes. What if it was UTC plus 8 hours and 45 minutes plus or minus 5. And so it's just like, whatever, you know? You guys, we have to do this. Anyway, let's figure out what actually is going on with it. The use of this time zone dates back to 1935. Although not legally defined by state or federal governments, the boundaries where it commences and ends are clearly understood and recognized by the Shire of Dundas local government and are frequently shown on road maps of the area, and road signs advise travelers to reset their clocks by 45 minutes. So it is a local government decision. What I'm hearing is you can make your own time zone. And I don't, there's no, value in this, but, somebody managed to get into this situation where you go to the Wikipedia time zone map, and here it is, this little slice that says it on the map, and that's official to me. One of my favorite things that I didn't mention in the video is that Samoa and American Samoa, two very close together islands that both contain the word Samoa, are 24 hours apart. So they are in different days all the time. Wild. But how did this happen? So it wasn't just somebody woke up one day and was like, we're doing this, you guys. I had too many beers last night, and we're making Wikipedia bend over backward for us. Commonwealth Railways public timetable shows Central Time was used by that government organization. Passengers were advised to advance or retard their watches by 45 minutes each night on their journey. Oh. As you would travel, the time zone would match the speed of the train, and because the train didn't go far enough for an hour to matter, it was 45 minutes. It was if the train's a little slower, it would have been 30 minutes. If the train's a little faster, it would have been a full hour. But the train goes the speed the train goes, and noon is going to be, oh my God, the train is just following noon around because it's moving. So noon is changing. And in a day, every day, noon changes by about 45 minutes. And so that's how they, early on, in this area, defined the time zones. It runs just east of the South Australia border, just shortly east of Kaiguna. It's included in the TZ database with designator Australia Euclid. What's the TZ database? The time zone database, a collaborative compilation of information about the world's time zones. These are the people that we need to get on board if we buy a town, or if I successfully campaign the mayor of Missoula to make our time zone a plus or minus. And look, if you can do daylight savings time, and suddenly, one day, the time zone changes on the same day every year, and then you can change that day sometimes when you want to, or make it go away. I think you could do a plus or minus 5. And the way that they have to do stripies on these for the places with daylight savings time, instead of stripies, we're going to make them have to create a new system. It's not stripies, it's fuzzies. The database attempts to record historical time zones and all civil changes since 1970. The Unix time epoch. The Unix time epoch? Y'all, I did not realize that we were in an epoch that began in 1970. Oh, that's a programming thing. Sometimes called epoch time, POSIX time, and Unix time. Epoch is an operating system starting point. I understand roughly what's going on, and we don't need to go deeper into this anymore. You might want to, but I'm not going to go any deeper into that. I feel like I have fairly well established the situation, which in part is that Paul Eggert is a man that we're going to have to get in touch with if we're going to do this work. And I got his email address. I blurted out because I don't want you to email this guy. But his email address, let's just say I could find it. So that's what we need. We need Paul Eggert. We need the mayor of Missoula. We need all of Missoula. We need some place. We need some place to be able to define its time zoniness in a weird way. So this is not recognized by the government, but it is recognized by the Shire of Dundas, which I just don't think is huge. I mean, it's big. It covers a lot of space, but I don't think it's probably very populous. Let's guess. Shire of Dundas population, 677, you guys. I think we can make this happen. It's just some towns all agreeing. But they're agreeing because of something that goes back to 1935 when the railroad was here's how time zones work. Just change your watch by 45 minutes every night. That's how that time zone got established. That's so good. I love it. And all the signs are up, so they're not going to change it. Welcome to the Central Western Time Zone. The time zone that contains the fewest people, except for the one that's just those two islands in the Pacific that only have birds on them. Oh man, what a world we get to live in, everybody. What a world.